We just had a little bit of a vertical stream, and now we're here for a horizontal one. So I can say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another day of conscious evolution. Today's stream topic is about unity. Honestly, that's really what it's about. Is an acknowledging that despite the fact that today has been very polarizing, there is still unity, right? There is definitely a certain decision that will resonate with some and will resonate with others less. And there can be confusion about why it is some people want certain things, especially when we want something so diametrically opposed to that. But despite all of that, we still find ourselves on the same planet. And on top of spite of all of that, this planet is big enough for all of us. All right? That we are all in this together in that way. My data is getting absolutely munched. Maybe I won't do this one for very long. Maybe we'll just do like a little mini stream. I'll have a conversation or two. Maybe just to like almost hit on the main conversational beats of what we talked about today. Pull a card and then say goodbye. Today it was nice having a little bit of a conversation about narrative, inner narrative, especially as it relates to what we want from this experience. Because as soon as you want something, right, it's like the whole you can't please everybody conundrum. But you don't have to. You have to, if you have to anything, you have to be love in your immediate environment. And nothing has changed, right, in that way. Despite there being a little bit of a feeling happening collectively right now, nothing has changed. There might be a different guy in a ceremonial role. That can be disheartening as a kind of acceptance, but it can also be liberating because it means that you still have just as much future ahead of you, just as much hope, just as much possibility, just as much chance for there to be, cool stuff, cool stuff going forward. I would like to believe, and I'm going to reaffirm this belief, at least in my mindset, that we are living in interesting times. And that can be seen as a bad thing, but that I want to almost like rebrand it as an acceptance. Taking responsibility even. Feeling proud of the fact that I get to be a person on planet Earth at this time. Feeling excited for all of the lessons that I'll learn being a human being on planet Earth at this time. Curious to see if I'll get to do the things that I want to. An orange presidency probably won't be very good for immigration. I might have to wait another 4 years before I'll be allowed to come into your country or something. This story unfolds so interestingly. I've been looking at this tree over and over again, and every single time I do, it brings me peace. I don't know if it's captured perfectly on camera. Where would you like to visit in America? Indiana is on my short list. But I would like to visit friends when I come to America, Hoopy. I'm not really too particular about where in America I go. As long as there are friends there. That's all I'm going for. Right. Yeah. What an experience. What an experience we're allowed this time around. And I am technically a very far away observer. Did someone say Indiana? Howdy, folks. I did. Hey, show. Yeah. Hoopy asked me, is there somewhere I would like to visit in America? The orange is an isolationist who will fuck everything up on the international stage because he's a racist, tribalist, with the ghost of General MacArthur in his ear. And Roy. And Roy. Good old Roy. Yeah. And here we are, Sam. Here we are. Despite that, many a asshole has tried to ruin the lives of others. Many a asshole has hurt other people. But many a asshole have died and failed. Right. To make a proper impact. Trump won't make an impact. Maybe I'm being a little bit facetious in saying that, but history won't look back on this character, I believe at least, and want to resurrect him so we can come and do his work in the future again. Right? Thinking about it from that perspective, like if you were living in a certain way right now, if you had to be like flash frozen as this archetype, as this thing you are, would the future want to bring you back? Would the future unfreeze you? So it's a big one. It's a big magnifying glass. Good old Roy Khan, that fetid asshole. Yeah. Did you watch The Apprentice, Sam? To understand more, I did watch it. And for me, the most shocking part of that whole experience is watching someone completely disregard someone else who have done nothing but help and, support them. That part of the story, I was like, holy shit. Is that possible? What about archetypes? I missed something. We're talking about archetypes in the way of like, would the future want to have your archetype in it? If the future is this magical, beautiful place, would they want your help? Or would they be like, nah, that person needs to stay asleep? They weren't doing God's work on planet Earth when they were walking amongst us. And again, it is definitely a loaded question, right? No matter what you say. But it is an important one to be asking yourself. This card is our one. Ooh. The card we pulled today is Align Your Life. Align your life, it says. What is not aligned or needs to change? Oof. Oof. That's a big oof. What is not aligned? The universe asks us, all of us collectively being like, where do we start? The Apprentice is a good look at how hard they were filleting him and making him look better than he actually was. Showrunners came up themselves a few years ago and said it was all bullshit. Yeah, the not paying people thing for me. The not paying people and people still doing work for you. The failing at businesses over and over and over and over again, and there still being this narrative of business acumen and competence. And I'm no one to talk. I can't say that I know how to run a business. I think it's very hard doing that. But I'm not building my whole archetype around being that guy. I'm not fucking. I'm like the man in the businesses. No, no, because that's not who I am. I am trying to be a friend to the world, if anything. Align your life. Align your life, they say. Yossi, that's a tall order. Didn't we pull that card recently as well? I think not too long ago, even. Page 34. What in your life is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? We are cyclic beings in a constant state of change, of evolution, of growth. Change is one of the only certainties of life. When you resist your cyclic nature, you resist life and feel stuck. Many of us have learned to be who the world wants us to be. But there comes a time when it is harder to hold on to this facade than it is to embrace who we truly are, to surrender to how we have changed and align life to that way of being. If you pulled this card, you were being called to let go of who you once were or the things that you once defined yourself by. The job, the relationship, and the mask you wore, and to embrace who you truly are now. To courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity. To embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. Perhaps you have outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it is time to reassess and bring all the parts of your life into alignment so that they are congruent with who you truly are today. That's a tall order. Yo. But I do want that. I do want that. That alignment feels like the only way that I can live a life that I'll be happy about at the end of all of it. Right? Because that is what we want. I don't want to look back and feel separate from this life that I've lived, feeling like I was supposed to have so much love, and thinking about, what that does look like right now as well. It's nice to be held by reality like this. I'd bring in other people I wouldn't pay. He said of striking workers in his company, it's so much worse than Orange Man Bad, is that he's stupid and he's being used by very dark people. Yeah. What would be different in the future? What's my archetype? I'm hoping Mel understands. I just get triggered when things aren't stated precisely. Maybe I'm too much. That's the teaching you have to go through, my dear friend. I am just being a mirror, right? It's not up to me to perfectly, in your words, state things precisely. Who am I? You think I'm that great? That I can just state things precisely like that? Then heed me! Heed me as I state things precisely. Spit your ears. Drop what you're doing. I'm stating precisely right now. You see, that's how I am too much, Hoopy. So you don't have to worry about all of that, bro. We can be too much together. I'm happy we pulled the card. I'm happy that we had this moment together. We didn't do much dancing. I'm happy that we danced yesterday. All right, there's like some bleeding over of the dance energy. It has like a 24-hour bubble, and we are still in that 24-hour bubble. So you imagine it like a buff. I still have my buff on, so de facto. I have danced. Today's card guides us. They always do, don't they? I thank you, friends, for finding a moment here to be united in this moment, despite these changes that we're going through as a collective. I love you. I appreciate you for finding a moment. I'll see you again soon, dear friends. Tomorrow. Goodbye for now.